Welcome to Sub Rosa. There, we got the shh on cue. That was awesome. So this is a listener. Thank you for sending this in. What to do when HR won't fire someone who is clearly guilty of bullying on numerous occasions?
Whoa. It's not a lot of information there, but I would assume if the person was guilty of bullying on a number of different occasions, that it involved a number of different people. I'm assuming they've had a number of different complaints about this person. The fact that HR chooses to do nothing about it leads me to believe that the person is probably an executive. And at this point, I think your options are scant. If it's more than three, HR doesn't work for you; they work for him. At this point, they're trying to offload you. So why don't you just beat them to the punch and find a better job? We've already talked about on Bad Boss Brief how hard it is now, including the guy who did the AI program to send out 5,000 resumes and got 7,000 interviews and not a single job offer. Yes. But clearly, you're going to have to live with the bullying, as I did at Ozzy for 10 years, 9.5 years, or find another job. That's assuming the person's on an executive staff, or if it's not an executive staff, or somebody you're dotted line, or somebody subordinate to you, and multiple people have complained that they've done nothing, then I think you need to escalate in a way that's comfortable and consistent with rules of engagement, but you just can't suffer in the dark for something like this. That would be my take.
Yeah. And I think, again, reframing what it is, and we've talked about this before, reframing what the role of HR is in most corporations. It is not to protect the employees. It is not to help employees. It is to keep the company from being sued and to further whatever the interests are of the organization. Right. So that doesn't just mean if it's an executive that's bullying. It could be a real key performer. Right. It may be the engineer that they absolutely have to have for whatever. Right. So first of all, reframe your narrative around HR to think that HR is going to help you. The second thing is, if I don't know, again, if it's who is being bullied in this situation, right? But document everything and try to document as much as you can legally. I mean, you can't legally record conversations, but, take copious notes during a meeting. If there's behavior, write it down, send emails,
print out emails, or save them, or email them to yourself. Yes. Exactly.
So make sure that there's a paper trail. And then I think what's useful is try to get someone to understand what the consequences of this may be. Right. We talked once on a Bad Boss Brief about making it about money. Right. So if this person is bullying staff, that could lead to attrition. That could mean that valuable contributors could go away. There's a financial aspect to that. If this person is a bully, they could do this to prospective new clients, and that could impact the bottom line. This isn't somebody you could ever take on a sales call. There's a lot of ways, depending on what the role is, to say, hey, this bullying behavior is going to impact our bottom line. Right? Whether it's because we're going to get sued, somebody important is going to leave, we're not going to get a new client, or we're going to lose an existing client or vendor. And if you can build a reason why bullying puts the bottom line at risk, then tell the person who is most impacted by that bottom line. Right? Whether it's a director of sales, CFO, an executive, a team player. And if you can back that up with those kinds of emails or specific examples, right? So it doesn't seem like a feud. It doesn't seem like you're being petty. You've got actual concrete examples.
Yes.
Then I think you're going to have a better chance. But again, I mean, Eugene, it maybe have the best solution in that if you can leave. If you're at a large enough corporation where you could move to another division or you could get away from this particular individual, then try to do that. And
because if multiple people have complained, they are tacitly signing off on this behavior, right? Because they've had many opportunities at this point to stop it, and they chose not to. So
the other thing too that might work is, again, is this multiple instances where the bully has bullied just the person who wrote into us, or is it multiple people? But one of the other things too is, I talk a lot about reframing narratives. Look at the narrative through the lens of HR, right? So, I'm not saying make stuff up, but certainly as a woman, if I have a man that's constantly bullying me, I can ask a legitimate question. Is this gendered? Is this, is this something that could be gendered? Would a reasonable person think, is he doing this to other employees who are male? Oh, look. No, he's not. And I think to look, especially if you are part of, any kind of protected class, right? Look, is this happening to you because of who you are, because of an aspect of your identity? In which case, if you can show that, it's I like to use this word with HR people. Is this perhaps actionable? Which means, can someone sue your ass over this behavior? So if there's, look for anything that could potentially be actionable, bring it up to HR as potentially something that is actionable, or, your boss. And again, this is only if everything else doesn't work, because sometimes that can backfire and isn't necessarily going to help you, but you could try to do that, sort of speak in, HR language and do something that's going to make them sort of sit up and take notice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks. That. Yeah. Thanks for writing in. Again, WTF@badbossbrief.com. Or, you could put a comment on Substack or YouTube, which is actually where I found this. And, I check and see what people are saying. And we always appreciate comments, and we always will, answer reasonable questions on the show.
Focus on reasonable.
Well, that's true. I mean, I have a very expansive understanding of what reasonable is. Let me tell you. All right. Thanks. See you soon. Bye.
Adios.